We just got back from court in Levy County. There is a new felon on the anti-What the Hale's ecosystem team, ordered by the judge. The cops were called last night on LIEnette Preston yet again, as she sent some of the most vile, threatening texts to a court witness. Except LIEnette doesn't even know it's a court witness. LIEnette speaks to two ladies every single day that she has never met before in her life. Now, she's listed one of those in the Ohio court case as her best friend. That would be Lori. I can assure you, Lori is not involved in the Ohio case to help LIEnette at all. As a matter of fact, the other individual that she contacts and talks to daily, her name is Tina. Just so happens that Tina is here in Levy County for court with some of the most condemning evidence you will ever see. Everything from where LIEnette is getting the illegal rugs that she's taking to the horrific names such as Hale that she calls the child, and the extreme abuse. So we're headed to court, and Tina's gonna be there with shiny chrome bracelets, giving evidence such as LIEnette telling Tina, and all the evidence is also in writing, text messages, emails. Woo! Woo! The bombshells, baby! That she's going to lie in Levy County Court, stating that she wrote every single one of her motions. DEUCE never had anything to do with it, even though all the evidence is in writing that DEUCE did it all. And LIEnette's already confessed and told and showed all the writing to Tina. Whew. Now, why Tina? Well, Tina wants to save the child, just like Lori, just like everybody else. By the way, Tina was the inner mole with LIEnette. Now, what's LIEnette going to find out about Lori in Ohio court? Cat's out of the bag now. By the way, after Tug dropped that bombshell last night about LIEnette reaching out to him to put Felisa in jail for the theft of all of her money, guess who reached out to our lawyers? Yeah, straggly guy. We're in our lawyer's law firm office right now, where I've been handed stupid names filing, where I've been told you have to smell this. Okay, here we go.
Are you sure you want to do this?
No! Oh! Holy cow!
What is it? Man butt ketchup and
heavy
tobacco?
Heavy. It's bad. Oh, that's bad. I need a nasal cleansing. We're headed in the courthouse right now. Right here is a Levy County Sheriff deputy undercover. Courthouse is over here. LIEnette nowhere to be found. I don't see DEUCE. I think he's still on the loose as well.
I think he's hiding behind the 10 Commandment sign.
Oh, that might be busted can of biscuits hiding in the bushes.
Oh.
What a day in court, George.
Wow. That actually was quick and easy.
I mean,
if we were in front of Judge Judge Tobias's,
yeah,
we would be there for 5+ hours.
Well, we were in and out of the court with 3 hearings in just about half hour. Mm-hmm. Judge Craig DeThomas's would have still been talking about what he talked about before and the time before.
Yes, recapping it over and over and over. But today's hearing was scheduled for 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, and it was slotted for 2 hours. Randy, our attorney, requested 1 hour, and the judge gave us a slotted 2-hour time. So we arrived there around 1:09.
Yeah. And I didn't see DEUCE or LIEnette anywhere.
Well, I thought I saw them hiding behind the 10 Commandment structure outside, but no, that was.
Were they hiding behind the one that says "Thou shalt not lie"?
Lieth. Yeah.
Okay.
Could have been that one.
So we did have 3 hearings today, and I want to clarify before we get into what happened today with the judge, which was amazing. The dominoes are falling. big time. So we had 3 hearings. Number 1, we had a hearing in regards to ex parte communication with DEUCE constantly illegally contacting the courts. Okay, that's also has to do with LIEnette lying and not disclosing who's writing all of her motions, who's writing all of the legal filings, and that's illegal as
Correct. So after Stark passed away, she automatically became pro se again. So she was pro se when she started. No, she was pro se when she started, hired Stark.
Yep.
Then Stark passed away, then she became pro se again. And it's so evident who's writing her motions.
The reality is DEUCE is the one that hires Stark. As a matter of fact, we had a contract there as an exhibit as well. Didn't need it. And he, for content and fodder, contrived bad YouTuber storyline that he tried. He wanted to destroy my entire empire. You recall that, don't you?
Oh, yeah, he put it in writing.
Yeah. That's one smart lawyer. For us! Best lawyer we've never had to pay. But he's going to. 100%. So there was also the thumbnail case. There was also the Trespass 5 case. Now you may be thinking, hold a second, but LIEnette stated, there's a stay. There's a federal stay under Trump. She emailed that yesterday. I'm going to bring it up right now. Now, before I do share this, I think it's important that people understand that she's not protected by a federal stay in litigation that she has brought as a plaintiff.
Yes.
So if you were to sue anybody and everybody you possibly could and go, I'm going to sue everybody, and then when they countersue and you go, whoops, I'm going to file bankruptcy, do you realize what the court system would be like? She's not protected as a plaintiff, which is why we could actually have the hearing today.
Yes.
So
she voluntarily dismissed it. So don't forget that, because that's important.
Oh wait, I gotta get to the right lawsuit here. So we were DEUCE and Levy. Here it is. Okay. So you have. I'm gonna get to it. I promise, baby. I'm gonna get to it. You have LIEnette stating. You have LIEnette stating. Please provide a link for the hearing so my bankruptcy attorney has it, and so I have it. This is wrong on so many levels. Now, before that, she sent another email that stated, which she should be saying nothing. That's the reality. I have copies of them all. I have filed bankruptcy. We have filed with your court, and there's a federal stay in effect. Federal Trump's state or county. I'm not supposed to go to any of them because the people involved are involved in my bankruptcy. It's a conflict. My lawyer is Jerome Saran Wrap. Sincerely, LIEnette. God bless. Okay, there was no God bless.
I just find it weird that she's not using her legal name for these cases.
Well, she's in a world of trouble right now, a real world of trouble. She brought the case because DEUCE told her to bring the case. DEUCE went and
2 cases.
Went and solicited Scott Stark. That's illegal as well.
Yep. Paid him. Paid him a portion.
Let me be clear. Let me share this before we actually get to the climax of this entire hearing today. Bruce will be losing his license, and Bruce is now a felon. Now, okay, not quite yet.
It's not official, but it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's 100% coming from the judge. But let's get to how we actually got there, because Bruce and LIEnette were court ordered to be in person in court today. No Zoom links provided whatsoever. And there was a special surprise person at the court today waiting for them. Yet they didn't show. This individual had nice shiny bracelets all set and ready for the hearing.
Ready.
But they didn't show. 12 bombshells of Christmas, baby.
They meaning LIEnette and Deucey Poo.
Do you think DEUCE is out there taking a deuce? Do you think he's deucing his pants right now?
Yeah. I mean, that is possible. So,
LIEnette's not protected in the federal stay with the bankruptcy because she's the plaintiff that actually brought the lawsuits.
Correct.
Okay, now thumbnail case, that was still ongoing, and we filed safe harbor, we filed counter, we want attorney fees, legal fees, everything, sanctions. Now, in the trespass 5, that one actually concluded. There's already a judgment against her in that. But there are other fees that needed to be heard as well, okay, that she will have to pay the Grangers for. But what happened, we'll back up a little bit. Those are the 3 cases: ex parte communication, DEUCE, and LIEnette lying about who's writing the motions. You have thumbnail case, and then you have trespass 5. So what I have, 128, doors unlock. I go in, you go in, looking fine and divine.
Yes. Well, Randy and Doreen were looking really good too.
I'll tell you what, they were dressed to the yeah, holy cow. And then Deanna is there as well. And then the special guest is there as well. And so they're just waiting. 128, no LIEnette. No
Still
DEUCE.
no show.
Where do you think they were, George?
Well, I do remember the judge coming in at 1:34, and the plaintiff, or not the plaintiff, but the bailiff says, "All rise."
Rex, he's an
Still-
awesome bailiff.
Still no sighting of Preston and DEUCE. And the judge himself even said, "Well, I see Miss Preston and the other parties are not present." And he asked the plaintiff, the bailiff, I keep saying plaintiff, but I'm trying to say bailiff. The bailiff even went outside of the courtroom to check to see if she was out there, because he knows what she looks like. And he comes back in and he tells the judge, yeah, no sighting of the other party.
No sighting of LIEnette. No sighting of DEUCE. I don't think he checked the bathrooms. DEUCE might have been in there deucing himself in the bathrooms.
Well, I don't think.
Or he already fled to Armenia.
Yeah, that royal flush. He flushed himself
Wait,
so
hold
good.
a second. Hold a second, baby. We're only on day 2 of the bombshells. We're going to get to where DEUCE is in the 12 bombshells of Christmas. But we're not there yet. Not quite there.
You don't think he flushed himself to Armenia?
All I know is that we all rise. And Rex, the bailiff, is looking for DEUCE and LIEnette, like you said. And they're nowhere to be found. And the judge then goes on to say, well, I know she sent me an email from the last hearing and stated she would not be there because of the bankruptcy. And then she showed up.
She showed up, which is true.
And
when we showed the recording.
like, yeah, well, that's, her mom died. Her mom didn't die. So, it was kind of the things that happened. So the judge goes, all right, we're moving forward. We're moving forward. What do you have next on your notes? We got notes.
So then,
we got notes.
Oh my gosh, there was so much going on and so many fast talkers. It's hard for me to take notes accurately, and to capture a lot of the things. But I'm going to go through my notes of what we wrote. So the first case that we discussed was the Preston versus Hales, myself, Foreman, and Greaves, which Randy and Doreen were there representing 3 of the 4. Myself, and Larry Foreman.
And that is what we affectionately call the thumbnail case.
Correct.
Now, Tat Greaves couldn't be there. He's in Australia right now. So he was never served. Therefore, there was really no issue with Tat not being there. And no money out of his pocket either. I mean, the reality is the sanctions and the attorney fees for all of this have come from my pocket. And now she's going to pay for that as well. Why don't you continue on, if you would?
So then Randy brings up how he'd like to go over the motion where DEUCE, an unlicensed lawyer in Florida, be addressed. And then the bankruptcy stay was addressed. And the judge was aware that it was dismissed. And the last time we all met in person, that there was no pending stay, right? Because she dismissed it and there was a gap where there technically was no stay. So he did recap that. And then they talked about how the bankruptcy is cured partially.
Partially if she's a defendant in a case, which means if she's the plaintiff and she brought the case against us, the thumbnail case, she's not protected. You can't go around bringing legal lawsuits against individuals and then running to bankruptcy court and go, no, I'm protected. No, doesn't work that way. I'm going to add a few things into what you shared because you have your notes from your perspective. I have my notes from my perspective. And they're not different. It's just different things that George caught and different things that I caught when it's all going on, and it makes a complete picture. And so what happened is the judge says, all right, let's talk about this one case, this thumbnail case. He goes, this is hearing for costs, for sanctions, and a motion to strike everything from DEUCE Matzkin. And he says, my concern going forward is the bankruptcy case. Has she filed again? Good question. Because if he's concerned, Randy says, yeah, she did file again. And he goes, I just want to make sure we're safe moving forward. And to do that, he said, I want to make sure we're safe going forward on the thumbnail case and the trespass 5 case. He didn't call them those names.
List them that.
He called them their actual legal case numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I'm not concerned about the Matzkin case whatsoever. We are moving forward on that today.
He did confirm that 100%. Case can go forward.
And he said, we are moving forward on that. And Randy responds and says, well, the stay doesn't protect LIEnette because it was action taken by her, the debtor. We are creditors. She already owes us money in court. She owes us legal fees. She owes us, from Ohio. We already have a lien on the property. We've already filed it here in Florida. We already have a lien. She owes us more money. Well, I guess we're going to get to that. She's going to owe us a whole lot more money. And that happened today in court as well. But we're getting there. And the judge says, well, I want to be transparent. Because of the bankruptcy, I had my law clerk look into the stay. And his law clerk said, the safest thing to do is to wait to hear anything on the thumbnail case and the trespass 5 case. And he said specifically, now I loved what this judge said. He said, specifically, if I make a decision today to give attorney fees, to give sanctions, and all the money that's going to go to, if it goes to Mr. Hales, if she's in the bankruptcy, then she can wipe that out. I'm going to protect Mr. Hales. And what's going to happen is we are only going to listen today based on entitlement. Is Mr. Hales entitled to money? But we are not going to decide the amount of money. And then we're going to come back to court once the bankruptcy is over, and we're going to have another hearing on the amount of money, the sanctions, the legal fees, and that way she legally has to pay him, and she cannot wipe it out with a bankruptcy. And I'm sitting there going, I love this judge! Yes!
I mean, he could see that the games that they're playing, you don't voluntarily dismiss 2 cases and then go file for bankruptcy because you want to avoid sanctions when the defendants have every right to go after the plaintiff, the one who brought the cases, for sanctions and fees. So yes, so his legal assistant did say, or whatever title she was, said that it's best to avoid those motions due to the bankruptcy and to not litigate and to not go forward with those, to hold off on those.
This judge, as George already said, recognizes the game that DEUCE is playing, and it's so obvious.
It smells like DEUCE. It's so obvious.
It's a dangerous game to play. It is a very dangerous game to play. And this judge went, all right, let's play. And the judge is winning. So the judge calls it out. He says, we're going to hear on entitlement. Is Mr. Hales entitled to money? And we're going to get to what the judge said, yes or no. And then there will be another hearing on how much sanctions, legal fees, and there's a bunch.
Yeah.
We're talking tens of thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. I don't think we're going to hit the $100,000 mark on this actual lawsuit. But we're going to be up there. They're losing everything. everything. Okay.
So the judge is aware that Randy is the special counsel now, appointed by the trustee.
You remember? Hey, Randy's like, oh, by the way, Judge, I am now officially special counsel in the bankruptcy case.
Hired by the bankruptcy court.
One of the bombshells that we're going to get to on these 12 bombshells of Christmas are the biggest fears of each anti-What the Hale's ecosystem member. Because not only has LIEnette been a mole against Crook and the anti-What the Hale's ecosystem members, LIEnette has been talking to other individuals who have been moles the entire time. The entire time she's been talking to moles. Not only...
But she's the mole. Those people aren't moles. She's the mole.
Well, they want to make sure this child is protected. But not only is she a mole against them, and then talking to others who want to protect the child, who have funneled everything to us. When we've talked about, this is how much that Felisa actually spent on the wood, she's lying to you. We have already had all the evidence. The only reason Felisa released the money for the law firm in Ohio is because LIEnette told Tina, not Harley,
the neighbor,
Haley, Brian and Tina, who sold us the property illegally in Otter Creek, that she was going to sue Felisa to get the money back. Tina went and told Felisa. Felisa then called, Thanksgiving, calling a man at his home with his family, and releases the money to try and save herself. Felisa found out last night.
But that's not a project. She made it very adamant that money only goes towards projects.
Not a project. By the way, we have 100% complete and total evidence, and you're going to see it all in court. This is all going to be public information, all the communication, everything happening. It's insane how much we actually know that they don't know that we know, and how much incriminating evidence there is. Felisa, after she fleeced all these fools out of all this money, then released the money because she's scared to death that she's getting sued, and there's going to be a financial audit into her finances. There 100% is. It is in the contract that Randy signed with the trustee in bankruptcy. Felisa's money is the first thing that's going to happen in bankruptcy. She's done. There's a felon, and there's more coming. And so one of the things that's happened in the anti-What the Hale's ecosystem is one of the members completely and totally defected on them and has supplied us everything from all of them, including their biggest fears. And Felisa's is the money, the audit, and it's happening 100% in bankruptcy. And I promise you, there are felony charges coming for all of these freaks and fools. So Randy shares that with the judge. What does the judge say?
The judge was like, wow, that's rare. It's not common. So, but it's a coming. It ain't common, but it's a coming.
Oh, the dominoes are falling and these people are running. This is just wild.
Yeah. She can't keep using bankruptcy as an excuse. So then the judge goes on to say, well, let's move forward with a simple issue. He used the words simple issue, referring to DEUCE.
And I wrote it down. Look at this. This is so funny because George and I weren't even sitting. If you look right above my fingers, it says, Judge, let's move forward with the Matzkin. And I wrote down, it's extremely straightforward. And he did say that. I just wrote down, it's extremely straightforward and it's simple. And he did. He went, this is so simple. By the way, this judge does not like DEUCE. Now, the other thing I want to share before we talk about what's happening with DEUCE, we have already been in extreme conversations with the Florida bar, with the Massachusetts bar, or do you want to say Massachusetts? Okay. The Connecticut bar. The Connecticut bar and the Massachusetts bar have been waiting for this day here in court. They are taking extreme action against DEUCE. He will be losing his license. He will not be practicing ever again with a license.
Well, maybe that was his Christmas wish this year.
That's a pretty big bombshell. As a matter of fact, the bar contacted, I don't know if I should share.
No,
I'm going
let's
to.
Not.
Well,
let's not.
I'm just going to say this.
DEUCE is in deep doo-doo.
I'm going to say that they contacted last night and said, good luck today. We can't wait to hear what happened. They don't like DEUCE.
He does have a reputation. And we are not the first case he has done this to, where he just repeats the exact same thing with multiple email communications. And so the judge goes on to talk about how he is aware that DEUCE is not associated with the Florida bar.
Not at all.
He also recognizes that there's unauthorized communications with the courts.
Was that plural? Communications?
Communications.
Wow.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
I think I pronounced that right. Sometimes I mispronounce words. And then he also confirmed that he's fully aware of all of the ex parte communications where he himself has received over a dozen emails from DEUCE himself.
On the record, the judge says this.
A dozen.
Do you understand? Each ex parte communication unlicensed in the state of Florida is a third-degree felony. Mm-hmm. Each instance. Now you're going, Jeremy, how do you know that? Well, because the judge...
Don't get to that part yet.
All right.
The judge also confirmed that in these dozens of ex parte emails from DEUCE, that he clearly shows an interest in Miss Preston, communicating for her as her attorney. It's so blatantly obvious.
Blatant and so foolish. Mm-hmm. These idiots. I just... The entire anti-what the Hales ecosystem, I cannot fathom how you could be so dumb. They are going to lose everything in their lives. They will be enslaved to us financially for the rest of their lives. Every single one of them. And now DEUCE is facing felony charges. So the judge says this is a third-degree felony for each instance when he does this. Mm-hmm. And so... he says, I've received over a dozen emails ex parte. What's going to happen? The judge goes, this is so easy, so simple, so straightforward. He goes, we're going to issue an order that he is going to be referred for prosecution for third-degree felonies. He is practicing law in Florida without a license. This is all going to be reported to the bar in Florida, Massachusetts, Connecticut, which Massachusetts and Connecticut have been waiting for this. They even said good luck last night for this today. LIEnette officially now has to disclose in writing every single person that had a part in any of her motions in any of her court paperwork.
Especially when she's pro se. Any filings that she submits pro se, she has to disclose who's helping her file, because we've all seen her long rants on social media. She does not type that way, nor does she have the intelligence to type that way.
The court is going to be admonishing DEUCE as well, so there will be a full admonishment.
Correct.
And there's also now an injunction on DEUCE that he may not, by any stretch of the imagination, contact the courts at all. Mm-hmm. And if he does, that's contempt of court. He will be arrested. So all of that is coming.
Yeah. Every type of engagement that DEUCE has done has all been illegal. Every illegal activity that he has engaged and thrusted himself into will all be reported.
This is huge.
So many violations against the Florida bar.
Now, I hope, because the anti-What the Hales ecosystem members are all watching right now, I hope they understand everything that happened today in this case is going to be used in the other cases. You're done. You are so done. As you continue to lie and you continue to spin and you continue to try and damage our relationship, as you continue to try and damage those who we love, our livelihood, who we have a responsibility to generate income, to create jobs so they can take care of their families. They are a part of our family, and I will fight with every last penny to protect them. The anti-What the Hales ecosystem is done. Okay. We're still going to be in court, but it all adds up to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. And the dominoes are falling. Yeah. And quickly now.
Yeah. Justice does take a while.
But it's here. Mm-hmm. It's here. Okay. Do you have anything else on that case with the ex parte communications and the illegal writing of motions?
No. Okay. There's definitely going to be he said, the judge did say it's a no-brainer with the injunction on DEUCE for any interference with the case.
It's a done deal. So how many felons are in the what the hell's ecosystem right now? We've got paint chips. You got Dodgy Robbie. You got Poppy Seed.
Poppy Seed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got Deuce now. Isn't that beautiful? Who am I missing? I'm missing a felon.
I thought we were already at 5 according to your 12 days of.
We were somewhere. We got a lot. We got a lot of felons.
Who are we missing?
But they just added one, and there's going to be way more criminal charges coming for all of these idiots. Seriously, this is just mind blowing to me.
Yeah, when thinking you're above the law goes wrong,
it goes really wrong. I said it over and over again that criminal charges are coming for all of these people. They are coming, and you're seeing it in real time right now. DEUCE has third-degree felony charges coming for each ex parte communication. It's just wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't just interfere with cases when you're not licensed to practice in the state of Florida, all the way from Massa. Or Connecticut, wherever he's doing it from.
He will no longer be licensed to practice anywhere. This is happening. And I predict, as I've stated in the past, because we know this from another mole, which we'll get to that in the 12 bombshells of Christmas. The biggest issue DEUCE has going on in his life right now is him and his husband, Toma, are having major marital spats right now because of his involvement in this and what it's done to their life. I predict she leaves them, and she'd be right to do so. Let's transition into the next case, which is the thumbnail case.
Okay.
All right. So the craziest thing that I think that happened with the thumbnail case is Doreen puts Randy on the witness stand. And I'm like, get him, Doreen! Get him! Yeah! Oh, yeah!
This was new to us. I've never seen this before.
It was awesome.
Where co-counsel
directs
examines the main counsel, and she even asked the judge, do you want him on the witness stand?
And the judge goes, no, I can see him better right there. So you guys so it's Doreen and Randy are in the middle. George is over by Doreen. I'm over by Randy.
But before we get into that, I do want to say the judge did tell Randy that as soon as he receives the order, he will sign off on it.
It's a done deal.
Yes.
Yes, correct. So you're talking about the ex parte and the felony charges and the injunction, everything on DEUCE. Yeah, that's all happening immediately. It's happening. It'll be done by the end. By the time you watch this, it's already happened. Okay. So we transition, and Doreen is putting Randy up on the witness stand.
And the judge was comfortable doing this because this is all part of entitlement, right? Not the sanctions and the fees, but the entitlement.
Again, to be clear, what he's hearing is just, are we entitled to the money, not the amounts. He's holding the amounts to another hearing after bankruptcy is all done, making sure she can't get out of this, meaning LIEnette. So DEUCE's great idea, remember when John Crook put in the chat, I want to thank DEUCE Matzkin for a brilliant idea of fighting bankruptcy. Here's the craziest part.
I mean, we want to thank him too, right?
Yeah, thank you, you idiot. Thank you. You are the dumbest person I think I have ever known about in the history of my life. And look at the what the hell's ecosystems. There's some pretty dumb ones. And you're the dumbest.
They're all turning on each other.
Wow.
I don't even think LIEnette likes DEUCE. She's got some choice words about him.
We have a lot of evidence. That she calls him a bully, yells and screams at her. Oh, there's a lot of stuff, but we're not going to get to that right now.
How dare he, though? She's some disabled woman.
She's an elderly, disabled woman.
Is bullying a disabled client?
For what?
Wow.
For YouTube fodder?
Should we call and make a report for Elder?
Probably should. I mean, we have all the evidence what she said about DEUCE.
I mean, she should call and report the abuse if it's that bad.
There's a lot. All right, let's
So
get
back
into
to
the
Doreen examining
thumbnail
Randy.
case. We are in the thumbnail case for entitlement. Are we entitled money?
Correct. Yeah, Judge
Not
felt
the
comfortable
amount.
with
We
that.
are only hearing the entitlement.
So the first question Doreen asked Randy was, could you please state your name for the record?
And she goes, just to be clear, it's Shakit, not
Chauchet.
Chauchet.
That's French. I
Yeah.
think that's French. Chauchet. And he said that is correct. It's Shakit.
So I love that they can actually have fun with us in these stressful times. I do love that. That they can still giggle and we can look at each other and throw a wink and a little corner smile in court in these stressful situations.
Yes.
It goes a long way. It really does for us. You know, our stomachs are all turned in knots and the whole deal. So that I really appreciate that about our legal team. I really do. Do you want to keep going on the thumbnail case, or you want me to?
Yeah. I just wrote down every single question that she asked him.
Holy cow, baby.
Because I wrote down every question that she asked him.
Well, all right, let me give the overriding and then you fill in because
Okay.
I did not. Actually, what I did was wrote, win!
All we do is win,
win,
no
win.
matter what.
Okay. So, basically in a nutshell, Doreen asked Randy, what legal basis does LIEnette have with her claims? Randy says there isn't one. There is no legal basis. And he says, I've asked Stark for any evidence to merit this complaint. Nothing was provided. I did a motion to compel. Nothing was provided. The case was then dismissed, and her allegations were unsupported by any exhibits whatsoever. These claims are not supported by facts or by law, and the absence of facts means there are no claims. All makes sense, right? All makes sense. And he then goes on to say, we are seeking sanctions against LIEnette and Stark. And let me be very, very clear. Jeannie Stark just commented days ago stating, you know, I want to read it. I want to read it,
Okay.
particularly
It's
from
so
it's
weird.
so
For someone that's supposed to be
horrible.
grieving for a
It's
deceased spouse.
horrible,
It's,
in my opinion.
yeah.
It is sick. And it makes me feel very uncomfortable what she is posting and what she is saying.
But it also makes sense why her women's group kicked her out.
Yes.
The grieving women's group, she's posted about that too.
All right, I'm going to show it to you right from her Threads account right here. Anybody ever met a multimillionaire? Well, talk to me in February.
And then puts
Party!
Weird. So weird.
I can't even comprehend how somebody losing a spouse, a soulmate, could even put such horrific things on an account. If anything happened to George, I think everybody knows, I get a little bit of emotional mess when George is sick, cancer scares. You know, my biggest fear, we've gone through 2 cancer battles already. My biggest fear is I lose her to cancer on a 3rd battle. I promise you, you would not see anything posted by me. I would not be able to handle it. And the fact that this woman is talking about being a multimillionaire now.
And then partying. Gross.
The estate is still accountable for all this money. Sanctions, attorney fees, and Jeannie Stark's out here going, party. No, not a party. You are in a lawsuit. You are not out of the lawsuit. Any money she receives will be gone after in this lawsuit. And you could go, well, Jeremy, he passed away. That's really mean. I didn't make these decisions for them. As a matter of fact, we think it was Jeannie Stark that made the decision because she's so money hungry, and Scott probably had no idea.
Yes. And she even wrote in the motions confessing that she's the one who writes the motions. She was fully involved in the thumbnail case and then tried to voluntarily dismiss it and said they wanted nothing to do with this case, but it doesn't work that way. She should know that if she's helping him as the legal assistant.
DEUCE's promise of fame and fortune. They're famous now. And the fortune she's getting is going to dwindle away pretty quick.
So Brandy did confirm over a period of 17 months, neither her former attorney or Preston provided any type of evidence or exhibits to support their claim on the thumbnail case, the lawsuit that they brought against us.
Not a thing. Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. There were no factual arguments in their filing. And then they voluntarily dismissed the case the eve of the hearing with Judge Davis. Remember, Judge Davis was initially reassigned to this case, and they voluntarily dismissed it the eve of the hearing with Judge Davis because Randy was going to file a motion for summary judgment.
Mm-hmm. And they are trying to delay. They are trying to do anything to save themselves. And every move these anti-What the Hales ecosystem makes further digs a hole that they can never dig themselves out of. And they're past a point of ever saving themselves. Mm-hmm. Again, I can't stress this enough. Every single one of them will be facing criminal charges. They are in civil court, but there will be criminal charges as of such today that are coming for DEUCE. Many third-degree felony charges coming for DEUCE. There will be criminal charges coming against all of them for what they've done.
Yeah. And Randy again confirmed that LIEnette's complaint, who DEUCE wrote the complaint and Stark just signed off on it, did not satisfy the statute that they were trying to use against us.
Not even close. There was nothing in the statute that even applies.
Yeah. Regardless of us using her image, we're not denying that we used her image. We do use her image in thumbnail case, or the court cases that refer to her. We also use our images, but we're not using it on commercial purposes. We're not using it for merch like t-shirts, mugs, keychains, all those things. We're not doing that. The image of her in our thumbnail is part of free speech. It doesn't fall under the statute that the complaint included.
The other aspect about using her image, when we take video of her in public, we own the image. It's intellectual property. We own it. So while she could try and trademark her image, so for example, George and I right now with the trademark, we're trademarking our images. We're trademarking What the Hales, so that, for example, Fleesa, we're gonna go legally after Fleesa for every tag. Luthman for paint chips, every tag. Volpe, every time they tag us, they use our name. We're going after them in court. We are trademarking and copywriting right now, and then there will be more and more and more and more that's going to go on. She has none of that. We own the images that we've taken in public of her. But there are other images, since when she runs to the news, even though she states she can't run, it's public domain.
Yeah. When she shows up in front of the channel, and when she shows up at town hall during her deposition, during court hearings, we have every right to use her image if we're doing news reporting, which we report on our personal lives, and for entertainment. The entertainment industry uses people's image all the time. The news uses people's image. When Channel 20 did a news on Crook being arrested, guess whose image they used on their thumbnail? Crook? His mugshot.
Crook?
Why didn't they go after Channel 20 News? Because they use Crook's mugshot. It's public.
It's not helping their cases, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. So it wasn't actionable. Whatever suit they brought against us was not actionable. They would have never won, even if they didn't voluntarily dismiss it. And so therefore, we as defendants had every right to hire an attorney to defend us. We have every right to go after them for sanctions and fees because they brought this frivolous lawsuit against us. And so they went into talking about, Doreen asked Randy if either Preston or her counsel respond to the sanctions during the safe harbor period. Yeah. And the answer was no. They pretty much just abandoned the case. He abandoned her. So it was pretty clear that the judge agreed on the entitlement.
Well, let me share with you what the judge said, because I think it's funny that you said it's pretty clear.
Okay.
The judge said, if you look right above my fingers, there is clear entitlement here. Mm-hmm. George just said, it's pretty clear. He literally said, quote, there is clear entitlement here. It's mandatory fees and cost going to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
The defendant, which is us, is entitled And then he goes on to say the amount will be heard after the bankruptcy court. We won. We won entitled. We are entitled to the money. We are entitled to sanctions. We are entitled to attorney fees. And all of that is going to be heard in court after bankruptcy so that the judge makes sure she still has to pay.
Correct.
She will not get away with these games.
Right. And then he also confirmed that he will sign the order once it's received, but Randy has to be the one to determine the amounts and then wait for the correct timing after the bankruptcy stay is over.
And by the time you're seeing this, order has probably already been signed.
Dee was there. Is there anything you want to add that we didn't discuss, or you want to confirm that we didn't mention, or that we did mention?
I took notes too. Lots of notes too. Well, first of all, she didn't show. Didn't see her anywhere. I showed up actually before you guys. I got there first and sat out there and didn't see her. And it lasted probably like 30 minutes or so. The judge was very concise. He was to the point. He didn't have anything extra to say. Did a great job. Let's see what I took some notes. If you asked me the question, because I wasn't in here listening to you earlier, so I don't know what you talked about exactly, but I do have notes. I do know that I did hear him say toward the end of all of it that there was clear entitlement here toward you guys, and that it was everything has been properly executed and properly delivered on your behalf. I wrote those words down exactly. So I mean, it was a win. It was a serious win.
I was just going to ask you, so did you think today was a win?
It was, finally.
Tina, you were there in court with us. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Jeremy and George were victorious people. They won. Stop it. Stop the lies. I am one of many who do not have YouTube channels, who listen to everybody. The lies stop here. Leave them alone. Live and let live. And do what you preach. You say you're godly. Show me godly. Because right now, I don't see it. I see it here. I'm not seeing it anywhere else.